evening, ghosts and ghouls. You're listening to a horrible podcast.
What's up, ghosts and ghouls? It's the one, the only, JT Ripper, and I'm here with
Todd of Thunder.
And today we're back with a review of the new Insidious, The Red Door, the fifth installment to the franchise, and yeah.
I got a red door and I want to paint it black.
I'd rather listen to that song on repeat than watch this movie.
Really?
Well, it wasn't that bad. Okay. I guess we'll talk about the movie and then our thoughts.
And then our
review.
Then our star ranking review.
Our new ranking. So this one takes place after part 2. So if you're listening and you haven't seen any of the movies, it kind of goes, if you watch them in order, it goes 3, 4, 1, 2, 5. Right? Like if you're going to watch them in chronological order. Oh, that's a hard word for this retard.
You know what? I don't even remember. I've seen every single one of them.
Yeah, because
all right, wait a minute.
Wait. Bitch, 3 goes into 4.
Listen. Exodus.
Exodus.
All right, Insidious, then Insidious Chapter 2, right?
Yeah, which is a sequel to the first one.
Insidious Chapter 3.
Which is before Insidious 1.
Then you have Insidious, the Lost Key? Or is it the...
Yeah. Or the Forbidden Key, Lost Key, I don't know, which is a sequel to part 3. So it goes 3, 4, 1, 2, 5.
And then the new one is The Red Door.
Yes. Is the sequel to part 2.
I don't remember them. I mean, I remember them, but I don't remember how they go.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest.
It's confusing as fuck, honestly.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I know that the second one picks up right after the first one because he kills the lady. And now she's in the further.
Yes.
So she's a ghost now.
Right.
Okay. That's what I remember. And then the second one was him being possessed and him having the demon in him in the real world.
Right.
And kind of has that shining thing at the end where he's trying to kill him.
Right.
And then he pops out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I've seen the third one, and I've seen The Lost Key, but I don't quite remember how they fit it.
It was the backstory to, what's her name? I can't remember her name. It was like one of the best characters.
Oh, Lynn Shay's characters.
Yes. So,
okay, yeah, I do.
The backstory to her that leads up, like
because it has the
Lost Key leads into part 1.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
But this one picks up right after the family. This picks up like
10 years after 9 years.
Yeah,
after
like
part 2.
Basically what happens is that at the end of part 2, they put the guy, what's his name? I know the kid's name is Dalton. His name in the movie, God, was Patrick
Swayze.
What's his fucking name?
I'm looking it up. Hang on, I'm drawing a blank.
His real name is what? Patrick Wilson?
Yes.
And he plays the character of
Shine O'Malley. I'm kidding. Hang on. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't prepared. He plays Josh. Josh Lambert.
Josh. Basically, they put Josh and Dalton under this psychosis, hypnotism to make them forget. The only thing they can remember is everything before Dalton went into the coma and then right when he woke up. So neither one of them remember going into the further and going into the darkness and all that shit.
Yeah, they don't remember that whole year.
So this movie is them 9 years later, where Dalton is off at college and everything. But all of those memories, they're starting to have nightmares, they're starting to have delusions, they're starting to see things in bits and pieces, kind of like a puzzle is coming back into their lives.
Right.
And this is a great concept. However, it's a little slow for it to be the fifth movie, because we know all of this.
Yes.
We know all of it, and if this was like directly after the second film, then it would kind of make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But enough years had to pass to where Dalton actually got older. You know what I'm saying? So,
which it is the same actor.
yeah, it is the same. Everything's the same.
Yeah.
But it feels like a slow burn. It feels like we already know what's going to happen, and Josh and Dalton has to figure it out for the first time again. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
no, you're saying exactly how I feel. That's my problem with this film. Like, we know, know the answers,
right? But it's not like we went on the journey and it wasn't a good journey. It's just
it was unnecessary.
Like, not for the story they were trying to tell.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this movie was just not, like, it didn't further the story, and it was unnecessary. That was my problem with it. I'm not saying the movie's bad. It's a very well shot.
You're
movie.
saying they just made it just to have another one.
Yeah. Like, that's my problem with this movie. Like, they didn't do anything new or cool. Like, at the end of, like, part, I think 2, like, was it Lindsay's character when she's in the further? Like,
Lindsay?
Not Lindsay. Lynn. The girl that plays, what's her name in the movie?
You're a
Elsie.
bad reviewer.
Shut up. Look, I wasn't prepared name-wise.
What's his name got on the bicycle and drove to what's his place?
Fuck you. Anyway.
I don't know their goddamn names either.
Anyway, she saw, like, this bigger, badder monster, and I thought that that's what they were going to go with in this movie, but they didn't. They just stuck with the fucking lipstick demon, whatever it's called.
Well, maybe it's the final chapter on that story, the Dalton and Josh and all of those, and maybe next year or the year after, we'll get a Insidious film where a new family has to go through it. A new family is being tormented, you know?
Yeah, but, like, I felt like part 2 ended, like, the chapter for this family pretty well. Like, that's my problem with this movie. It was just unnecessary.
Well, I mean, it was one of those things where it's like, you think you get rid of it, but it, you know.
But it never explained why it came back.
Well, it came back, I guess, because their minds were totally wiped out.
Right.
They didn't remember it. They're only getting flashbacks. And it might be one of those things where you remember, like, in the beginning of Freddy versus Jason, where Freddy is talking and he says, I don't have any power. If nobody remembers me, I can't.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how the demon gets his power, you know, because look, if I remember you and I remember how to defeat you, I can keep you from me. But if my mind's washed free, it might give you a new opening to come back into my mind, and I don't know how to deal with it now.
No, that's a great, like, analogy in theory.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't fucking explain that.
Well,
That's my problem. Like, that's what was aggravating me about it, and it's a slow burn. Like, it's a slow burn movie.
Well, you know, It is what it is.
Like, I wanted it to be better. I think that's my aggravation with this movie. Like, the jump scares were on point. It got me 3 times, which is very uncommon. Like,
well,
normally, like you can see the jump scares coming. Like, Boogeyman. Boogeyman was terrible. Like, didn't get me at all. This one, pretty fucking good.
Well, the thing about this one is, you knew it was coming, but they still got you with it.
Kind of, but they did kind of trickery, like with it, like the MRI scene where like he slowly tilts his head up and looks, and you're expecting him to be there because his hand was on his shoulder, and then there's nothing there, and it waits a second, and then he tilts his and looks back down, and then it like fucking crawls back up.
Mm-hmm.
Great scene. I just wanted them to do more with the story. Or, like, give me a reason why it was coming back. Give me a reason, like, why. I think that was my biggest problem, is that I never got, like, why. And then,
well,
like, we already know that they don't know, but they know that we know that they don't know that we know.
Well, the thing about it is, here's the deal. You say they don't give you a reason for it to come back, but they kind of do.
Okay, I'm listening.
Well, Dalton and Josh are the only ones that have the gift or the curse, wherever you can look at it, to go into the further.
Okay.
They're the only ones. So his ex-wife or Dalton's mom or whatever, she never goes in. His brother never goes in because they don't have the gifts.
Right.
So they've always had the gift of going into it, right?
Right.
But their mind was washed clean. So now they're rediscovering going into the further, and they don't know what to fucking do anymore.
True.
See what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I got that, but, like, we already know how it works and that they can do it.
Right, but they don't know that they can do it.
Right, I know. That's the aggravating part about it. Like, what took so fucking long.
Well, that's why they played off of their minds being wiped clean. You know what I'm saying? It's like, excuse me.
Jesus,
if you have
nasty bastard.
If you have to relearn everything, you're not going to know. Like if you've done something for so long, like if you play a video game, you know what's coming, you know what to jump, not to get caught by this, that, and the other, right? But if you play it for the first time and then boom, it pops and gets you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's say you played a video game, but then your mind was completely erased, and you got to play it all over again. You're not going to know when that shit comes up, right?
I mean, yeah, I get that.
I mean, I'm not defending. I mean, it is a slow burn. I'm just trying to give you some
perspective
of what they were talking about. I mean,
I get it. It just wasn't. Like, my overall verdict of the movie is it's unnecessary.
Well, I can say this.
Like, it didn't further the story.
Patrick Wilson, I feel...
By the way, this was his directorial debut with this movie.
Yeah. I felt like he directed the last Conjuring film.
Nope. This is.
Was he a producer of it or something?
He might have been a producer, but this is his directorial debut.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the director goes, it was directed good.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the story of how